Hello, YouTube. This is My name is Lisa, and I'm just doing my weekly report on the carnivore diet. This is my channel. It's Until We Meet Again, and I just wanted to go over a few items this week a little bit in depth as documentary and journaling through this part of my journey. And I'm amazed that it's 9 weeks. It's kind of gone by fast. It doesn't seem like 9 weeks, but I do see there. I'm seeing very small changes, and so I have just a list of items that I wanted to go over with, or go over, just to let you, my audience out there, and even myself, kind of, so I can keep track and just see how things are changing, whether it's a benefit or whether there's no change at all. So I guess first item on the agenda, well, first of all, before I do that, I definitely want to thank each and every person out there who subscribed to my channel. The last time I did a weekly update, I had like 2 subscribers, and now this is a week in, and I have, I think, over 360 subscribers, and it was all thanks to Dave Mack with No Carb Life. He so graciously and generously let me come on his channel and let me just talk so freely about my experiences with eating this way and just all of the issues that I was having. You're welcome to go check that out. Again, it's No Carb Life, Dave Mack. And I believe the heading says something like I was a vegan for 7 years, which is true. I was a vegan for, I say 6 to 7 years. It was probably like 6.5 years, close to 7. I started in 2015, and then I stopped eating like that in 2022. Let's see, July of 2022. Yes. Boy, I all of your remarks and subscriptions, they just mean the world to me, and I'm very thankful. And feel free to continue to follow me, leave comments. I appreciate that, and I'll try my best to get to all of them. I have a very small channel, so at this point, it's really easy for me to, at least put a little acknowledgement there or comment. I love all of your testimonies. They are amazing. Sometimes they made me laugh or cry, or just say wow. So thank you so much. So the first thing I wanted to cover is the pain. Now, a couple of my whys are to allow the carnivore diet, just beef, water, and salt for now. And I am using butter. I'm trying to do a modified lion diet. I'm doing butter. Sometimes I think that butter does help me with satiation and probably digestion, I feel. So I'm keeping butter. It's not a lot, probably. I'm averaging about 1 to 2 tablespoons a day of butter in my coffee, and maybe a butter if I have a steak that's like does not have enough fat. So, and it seems to be doing pretty good. I love the brown butter bites. I made some, and I need to make some more. They're very easy to make. And so one of my whys was to alleviate the pain. In the get-go, on the start of this, after coming off a vegan diet, going keto, then going off again, and going back into kind of semi-veganism and SAT diet combined, I was experiencing a lot of physical pain in my body. Muscle aches, joint aches, fatigue. I would even have headaches, just soreness in my hands, both hands, wrists to elbow to shoulders, neuropathy. I would have my back and my hips, and my feet sometimes. So, and just the overall feeling of just hurting. And the morning time is the worst. I mean, it just sometimes will feel like I got hit by a truck, or I got in a fight, or just something drastic. It was like this every morning. And the last 6 months, 24-hour caretaker for my dad who had Alzheimer's. And so I think I was just surviving and managing on probably adrenaline and cortisol alone, because I mean, after Dad passed away in July, a couple weeks after, it was just like I really had time to like, oh my gosh, this is very scary. And I just, it was the closest that I ever felt to maybe thinking that it was over, you know, like your life flashing before you and just thinking, what are you got to do something, you know, you got a couple paths that you can take. The path of, you know, let's just go right into diabetes and, you know, um, become another victim of dementia, or fight for it. So I'm trying to fight. Anyway, the pain levels, again, my neuropathy, I would say, is still steady at about 98% gone. Sometimes it does, rear up. I notice I've been going to Planet Fitness, not very often, maybe 2 to 3 times a week. And when I'm on the treadmill and I'm, holding on for dear life on the little handles, my feet, my hands still go numb. So I'm not really, it doesn't bother me though, because it quickly alleviates if I, change my hand position or whatever. So that's the only time that I'm noticing it. I was able to, I paint every Sunday, generally every Sunday, or whenever I'm able to go to a praise and worship service at my church, and I paint, usually anywhere from an hour to 2 hours, just depending on how long I'm led to paint. And this last Sunday, I didn't have any issue with painting. It just did not. It's very big distraction when I was having pain. It was very hard, and I just couldn't get in the moment. I couldn't feel like my mind was free, and there anything like that. It was just like a joy stealer. So that is I'm very excited about that, and I'm looking forward to doing more paintings and more videos with my paintings, just to share the beauty of it. And just, I'm very happy about that. I'm an artist. I need my hands. So the pain level this week is probably steady at a 5 to 6 in my back and my hips. No pain, like I said, in my arms. Now, last week, towards the end of the week, I was very busy. I had I had 2 days, I would say 2.5 days, where I was on my feet for more than 5 or 6 hours. And so I noticed that there was an increase in my appetite, but also in my thirst. I wasn't I was out. I think some of you may have seen my video about the Native American festival on my reservation. It's a high desert, and I did not regulate my intake of water at all. And so even a few days after, I was so thirsty. I was just like, I was really, really thirsty. So I think I overdid it on the electrolytes. I did say in a previous video that my favorite element, that's the electrolyte I use, was lemon habanero, because of the spiciness, and I think I overdid it. And so let's see, Saturday morning I woke up, and my toe, the joint above my big toe was so inflamed, and I could not even move my toe up or down, and it was just sensitive to the touch. Now, I don't know if this is onset of gout. I know my dad did experience gout. That's one of the things that he did suffer with, and arthritis, rheumatoid arthritis. I don't know if it's hereditary or if it's just because I'm so sensitive to things that since taking away so many, I've taken so much out of my diet that it's like so easy to pinpoint, like, oh my gosh, there's something wrong, because it's not the meat, it's not the fat, it's definitely not the water, and so it has to be the citric acid. That's what I'm thinking. The citric acid in the elements that have the stevia and the flavoring, especially lemon habanero and citrus flavor. So I kind of chilled out on that. I have tried to just either put lots of salt on the beef I'm eating and just drink water or tea. I do have a couple of teas that I really like. One of my teas is Bengal spice. It's like a cinnamon flavored tea. And I do like the traditional Indian tea. Some people call it Navajo tea or roadside tea. So I did purchase a bag of this from an artisan at one of the craft shows I went to. It's a local tea that you can find here in New Mexico, maybe just in the Southwest in general. It has these little yellow flowers, and just a tea that reminds me of growing up of home on the pueblo, on the reservation. So anyway, those are a couple of teas that I've been drinking, and then I'm just sticking to the flavorless element. And so with the last 2 days, I bought like 4 boxes of element, so I have a lot. And one of them is unflavored. The rest are, the flavors: citric, watermelon, and the lemon habanero. So what I'm doing is, uh, rather than using the full pack, I usually use the full pack on 24 ounces of water or sparkling soda. So what I'm doing this time is I'm just measuring out a quarter of a tablespoon every time I use the element. So I've done this for about a little over 24 hours and haven't had any reaction. So, and my foot is the inflammation in my toe and the top of my joint lasted about 24 hours, maybe a little bit more, maybe 32 hours, and it's perfectly fine now. The swelling's gone down, but it hasn't increased. So I'm just hoping that, that's what it was. I haven't had any other reactions with what I'm eating. So that's kind of pretty much how I'm going to go proceed from here on out. I might just kind of go off the element once I finish, or just do the flavorless ones indefinitely, and then salt my food more. I know there's a lot of carnivores that don't lean on element. I know element is really a rage right now in the carnivore community, but some people don't do it. Some people just salt their food. So I think I might just do that. And so so that's where I am as far as the pain and the issue I had on Saturday. I want to talk about the grief. Okay, so grief. Like I said, my dad passed away in July, and I was taking care of him for almost, about 6 or 7 years as well, and it was very hard. It was hard to deal with just the change in his condition, and his personality, just everything. So I feel, I don't know, maybe if this is just a unique instance, but I just feel like the grief really hit me. But I also, I don't know, I just, maybe it's just the same everywhere when you lose somebody so close to you. It's like a grief relief, if that makes sense. And then sometimes that really makes it harder. Sometimes there's feelings of regret or, gosh, condemnation, to be relieved that your loved one is no longer suffering, but also combined with, I wish I knew about carnivore, 10 years ago, and I would have had dad eat like that the whole time, but I didn't, and just regrets, those kind of things. But I do have my faith, and so I just spent some alone time with this, and I just sat there and I cried, and I put some just some faith music on, some praise and worship, and I just prayed, and I read some verses in the Bible, and I just prayed, and I just just let out my heart to the Lord, and and then I got out of it. I came out of it, and I'm very thankful. So anyway, that probably lasted, I'm gonna say, about 2 hours, and then the rest of the day I was like exhausted, just from having to deal with my emotions and this addiction, and like seeing it, like I'm an artist, so I have this imagination, and I just saw it as this huge tumor that wasn't easy to remove. It was like one of those tumors that's to the point where it's just grown and entangled and engulfed all of these other body parts. And you can't just take it out. A surgeon, there's some tumors where a surgeon is not able to take out a tumor because it's just like, it's not this round little ball, but it's like this multifaceted thing that just took over everything, and it's dangerous because it's around vital organs, and it could kill you if it's removed. And I just saw that in my mind of this addiction, that it's so intertwined in my emotions, it's intertwined in my daily habits and rituals, it's intertwined in my relationships with family members, friends, it's intertwined with social settings, it's intertwined with just memories, everything. I mean, and so I there are some tumors that a doctor can just go in there and just remove it like a little scoop, and then there's some that they give you medicine and it shrinks down, and then it's easy, it either goes away or is easier to remove. But this, for myself, that's what I see. I don't know if it's the same with other people, that they're once you go on an elimination diet like this, sometimes you just have to face the the uh, the forces, the dark forces, dare I say demonic forces, that are kind of bullying you into this addiction corner, and you're complying with it, and you know you don't have that release of, well, I'm just gonna eat these Oreos, or I'm just gonna have some donuts, or I'm just gonna have thirds of this really good this good food. Even if it's good food, you're still drowning yourself until you can't even feel anymore because you feel so sick because you've just stuffed yourself. And I don't have that luxury now, because I just made my mind up that I don't want to do that. But the other thing is that I cannot, because there's consequences to whatever I eat. And so it's very sobering, for lack of a better word. And so, but I'm very thankful I got through it. So, and Wednesday I did have another grief bout. It wasn't too bad. It was I was busy. It's funny because I found myself having a lot of energy now. I'm not just okay with just sitting in my recliner and vegetating, but like I'm getting up and I'm doing stuff. I'm doing other tasks. I'm trying to get my studio together and projects and my small business. So I've been really busy, and I'm very thankful for the energy. But I just had a whirlwind of a morning, and then I didn't eat any breakfast or lunch or anything. And so about probably 3 or 4, when I should have gone to make a steak or something, I went and sat down in my recliner, and then just the wave of the grief hit me, and I was like kind of stunned in the recliner for a few hours. I didn't eat or drink anything, and so I really have to be careful of, or mindful, like eat some food, have something ready. I don't know if the grief would have stunned me as hard if I had anything to eat, or if that's just the nature of grief. I mean, right now it's kind of like a ninja. It just sneaks up on you, and you're just like, before you know it, you're just in this shroud of grief, or this cloak of grief, and you can't get it off, and you just have to let it pass. But that lasted a couple hours, and it's getting better. I believe that I guess I'll just kind of segue into like the appetite that I have, and of eating carnivore. What I really appreciate about it, I think I've said this before, is that there's just this overall general calmness in my spirit or my soul. I can't explain it. And so, though that feeling is very helpful for the eating disorder and the grief. I don't know if it would be worse if I was not eating this way, but just the absence of my appetite, and the absence of having to worry about what I'm going to eat, and the simplicity of what I'm eating, because I don't have to go buy all these ingredients or anything. I just go into my little meat drawer in the fridge and take out a steak, and I just put it in the air fryer, and it's done in 10 minutes. Or I'll just heat up a couple of hamburgers that I didn't finish, or some meat that I didn't finish, and I'll eat a cold ribeye, and it's wonderful. And then I'll just keep going on. So I don't. I'm glad that I'm not doing this without it, because maybe it would have it. Well, obviously I would be still eating everything, and I would just be feeling painful, and then I wouldn't want to do anything, and maybe it would have been a lot darker place. But so anyway, I don't know if anybody has that, but definitely if you're experiencing that, definitely share it with me, because that's one thing that a non-scale victory, alongside the absence of neuropathy, is just this general feeling of peace and calmness in my appetite, and then how easily it is to be satiated with meat and fat. I mean, yesterday I had some leftover roast beef. I think I probably had, oh, I don't even know what a quarter of a pound is. I usually, a pound is generally what I veer towards, but I had it was a very, it was probably about this big. Well, no, maybe it was about this big. The amount of roast beef I had, I just kind of cut it into slices, and I didn't eat it all. And I ate, a few slices, and I was just like, I'm not even hungry now. So I didn't eat the rest. And then in my mind, I'm just like, well, I'll just eat, later on. And then I did have another meal. I'm going to put a picture here. And it was the rest of the roast beef and two beef kielbasa brand kielbasas. Um, I love the ingredients, and so that's the what I had, probably 8:39. I know it's kind of late, but that's how my appetite's working right now. So I'm just gonna go with it. But that's what I ate yesterday, and in between not eating, I was busy doing stuff that I needed to do. I was busy trying to get stuff together, and clean and organize, and just do all, just things I need to do. I even went for a walk at the Planet Fitness. I even did that before I ate my second meal, and I was fine. I was fine. And I just had some tea and a cup of electrolytes with a quarter teaspoon of element. So the calmness is the thing that I just wanted to express, and just um, I feel less antsy, nervous. I do get irritated if I'm not eating, though. That's the thing. So I need to keep up on that. But I feel more reasonable, if that makes sense. It seems like as a vegan, I was so unreasonable, and I was always, well, because I was always hungry. Anyway, but enough of that. Um, so, and then that brings me to the intermittent fasting. So I suppose I'm doing a lot of intermittent fasting then. That's the one thing that I appreciate about this. I know with my faith, Jesus calls us to fast. And I was always so skeptical of this, because I knew I could not fast. I knew I had hypoglycemia, and just, I couldn't, I was always hungry. There was no way. But definitely eating like this, I don't even know if I mentioned this before I started the lion diet a couple of weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago. Yeah, about 3 weeks ago. Gosh, I'm sorry, I don't know the date, but I fasted for 3 days. Now I did my fast in the middle, smack dab in the middle of the fast. I did go off plan, but I got right back on, and I just fasted. So about 3 days, I didn't eat anything except that, and it wasn't very much. It was just a plate of like taquitos or something, that a friend had provided to me. But I did fast, and I didn't have any issue. I wasn't tired, or I was able to fast, and so I know I can fast. I think that's one thing that I want to build up to, maybe in the next few months, is to implement, a day, like a 24-hour fast or a 72-hour fast, and maybe more. Just And that's probably what I'll have to do just for weight maintenance. And just, I think that it's good for um, just the alleviating something about alleviating excess skin. I need to do more research on that. But anyway, I feel like fasting is something that is going to be beneficial for me. I'll try to do more research on what exactly it is, but that's just kind of like how I feel or that I might be going towards. And along with that, then I want to say that I am on the lion diet. And the first week was such a struggle because it is very hard and very strict. But I feel like I am settled in it and I'm okay because I was thinking about just going beef butter bacon and eggs because there's a little bit more variety there, but right now I don't feel like I need to. So I'm gonna continue with lion diet past October. I was planning on doing this until October and until September ended, but I'm gonna go through it through October. And then, if something happens and I'm just like I gotta eat eggs or I need some bacon, then I'll let you guys know. But for now, I'm I'm fine with beef, hamburger or steak or any kind of chuck roast. I'm going to try. I want to do or I want to try Michaela Peterson's crunchy things or crunchy things. Think that's what she calls it, because she says the recipe says you can use any cut of beef, and any cut of beef is really that is a good way to save some money because there are cuts of beef that as a carnivore you don't really want to get because there's no fat, but you supposedly you can use any cut of beef, cook it in the pressure cooker, shred it, and then um, cook it again or air fry it with tallow, beef tallow, which I did. I did buy a jar of tallow for the first time in my whole life. I never even knew what it was. I'm familiar with lard. Indians, Native Americans, they do use lard, especially to fry bread in fry bread. Anyway, but I've never heard of tallow, but I found tallow at my local supermarket. It was, I think it was $17. But if that's all I'm purchasing along with the meat, or it's okay. That's okay with me. So I'm gonna try. Maybe I'll make a little recipe or something, or a little video on that next week, just to let you know how it comes out. Lion diet. Um, I think it's possible. I think I can do this. I think I just see so many benefits to it that I'm not gonna say it's hard anymore. I'm gonna say I'm able to do this, and I'm encouraged. The other thing that I really like though is the kielbasa brand from Sam's, but I bought some last night because I ran out of the big pack I bought. So I bought some at the supermarket, and it was like eight or almost $8, and that was only for 4 kielbasas, and I'm like, I don't think that's worth it. So I'm gonna veer off that and just try to concentrate on doing the crunchy things and see how that satisfies me as far as the fat, because these kielbasas are very fatty, and I really like that fatty flavor. And they're very. What I like about the beef, they're all beef. So I like the all beef kielbasas because they cook really fast in the air fryer, about 3 or 4 minutes, and you know. But I'm gonna try this other route. Also, the normal schedule that I'm still on is having the coffee about anywhere from 8 to 9, and then eating anywhere from 2 to 4 or later, and then a smaller snack, almost before bedtime. That's how it's been. So if it changes, I'll let you guys know. Let's see. So my weight, I started in at the first week of August. So if I was 236, I could have been prior to that as high as 239, but I'm saying 236 for now. That's what I have documented in my journal. So yesterday I weighed in at 221. So there is weight loss. My goal is 200. And so, and once I get to the 200 mark, I'll assess everything, and then we'll do another we'll reevaluate another weight goal. But like 200 pounds for me, I will be we'll see how that goes. Let's see. My clothes are getting a little bit roomy, and I bought a couple of t-shirts at Kohl's. they were having this really awesome sale. So like I got this with Bugs Bunny, and it was like $4. It's a 3X, but I just already feel like, you know, it's not like tight on me or anything. It's, you know, it's a little roomy. Another like a Disney shirt, really really good sale, 3X, and that shirt is really, I wore it to the gym, and then I looked at myself and I was like, this looks like a dress. So it's probably going to be, you know, turned into a PJs or something. But yeah, so a little bit roomier clothes. Let me know in the comments if you guys are experiencing this uh, change in the inches and how your clothes are fitting, because you know, when you're overweight, man, it's hard to find clothes, quality clothes, clothes that you like, you know, or that you feel comfortable in, and sometimes it's a little bit more expensive. So if I, like for me, that's how I've been kind of a clothing hoarder, I guess you could say, is if I went to a store and I found a shirt or pants that I liked, if there was two of them or two colors, I would buy both, because I know that it's very hard to find clothes when you're overweight. Especially, I'm very wide in my waist, you know, not so much in my hips. I don't barely have any hips or any behind. That's, you know, my heritage, I guess. But my waist, my midsection, I'm like apple shaped, so it's very hard to find clothes that fit that shape, especially plus size clothes, because plus size women's clothes, they're more, you know, geared towards somebody who would be like a pear shape, and so like the hips and the behind part are just so baggy. So it's very hard to find clothes that fit. And when you find something, you know, those articles of clothing are very valuable to you, and you're very careful, and you usually buy more than one. And so I don't know, if it's, I'm hoping it's going to get better, and then we'll go from there. I don't know what's going to happen with my wardrobe, but we'll see. Let's see. And so for future videos, I want to provide more what I eat in a day videos. I really like them because when you're a carnivore, it's like, boom, I had a steak, I drink some water, thank you very much. So it's just funny to me. But, and then maybe I'll try some recipes like the crunchy things. Maybe I'll try that. I might try to come up with some kind of survey to give people that I see, just to, you know, find out if people have heard about the carnivore, if they're curious, and, you know, I'll try to do that on top of everything else that I'm doing. But I think that's really important. I really want to get a cross section of if there are carnivores out there that are uh, Native American, indigenous, specifically Native Americans that are registered to a federally recognized tribe, who grew up on a reservation, who, you know, who have trouble enrollments, who've been to the Indian Health Service, you know, those kind of things. Because I'm just curious. This is, you know, it's a small people group in this big larger scope of the United States. So I'm just curious. We'll see, you know, if I can get some information on that. To maybe do some more filming of my painting when I'm actually painting, those kind of things. So I'll try to see if I can work those into um, uh, my videos that I'm posting on this channel, and more updates, of course. If you're not subscribed, definitely, you know, subscribe. Give me a like, or give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Any comments that you have, definitely leave them. I'll if I'm able to, which probably I am. I mean, you know, it's a very small channel right now. I'll definitely receive them, and you know, let you know. So for now, my name is Lisa, and until we meet again, goodbye.